It's Rome, and welcome to another episode of Carnival Visionaries. I am here with the Tobago Empress when it comes to Carnival. The lady who has redefined Tobago's Carnival with the ultimate Tobago Carnival. Ultimate, what is this?
The ultimate premium Tobago mass experience.
Oh God, she alone can say it so. She alone can say it so. We have with us Sabrina Surio. I pronounced the last name right?
Yes, Sabrina Surio it is.
She has a fancy last name, but you had to pout your pinky so when you say it. Sabrina, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Why Tobago? Because we were talking off air, and you were telling me you're Trinidadian born, you're in the Trini mass space, and you decided to go to Tobago. Why Tobago?
Because I felt as though, or we felt as though Tobago needed that extra oomph, you know, in terms of design, look and feel, aesthetics. It wasn't given at that point in time in the February space because that is where we started, in the National Carnival. So, as I was telling you off air, is a friend of mine, he does parties in the Tobago space. And he's like, Sabrina, we are going to do a mass band. And I'm like, no, we are not going to do a mass band. And 3 days later, I was like, yeah, we have 3 designs, we are doing a mass band. And that is where Zain Carnival was born. And with, you know, those things in mind, that we wanted to elevate the look and feel of the carnival to attract people into the space who may want something a little more intimate, but you have plenty road, you know, something safer. We decided, yeah, let's do the Tobago Carnival International.
So that is how Zain Carnival was born. And what you would say is the biggest difference between Tobago's Carnival and Trinidad's Carnival?
One of the biggest difference, again, is the road. I think what we do, we kind of look at ourselves as masqueraders as well, and not just as the band leaders. I can say from my perspective as one of the band leaders with Zain Carnival, is that I like road. I want the spectators to see me. I want them to, you know, want to come and take a picture, because that is all part of revelry, you know. People, you have a good time, you look good, and people want to take out pictures, they send it back to their friends, you know, they share it, and people, is a joy that people get with taking out pictures with a masquerader that is beautifully adorned, you know. And so yeah, and one of the other thing is the safety. They don't have any problems. I mean, you don't even hear anything like somebody car stolen.
Right.
It is that, you know, nobody pelts in bottle
Right.
kind of thing, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that Trinidad has that, but you know what I'm saying. And that euphorism of coming along that Milford Road stretch with the Caribbean Sea. Hey, and when you feel the mist of the ocean on your sun-kissed body, it's the best. It is the best feeling ever.
Because I don't think we have a parade route for Trinidad where it's close to the sea. I think the closest thing is the foreshore, and no bands really pass on the foreshore for you to see that sea.
Exactly.
And I always wondered if that was an element of Tobago's Carnival where people really felt as though stood out, because there are other islands who have their parade routes close to the sea. And because I went to I think it was one of the US Virgin Islands, was it St. Thomas, where they have like a kind of like a foreshore.
Yeah, and St. Lucia has it as well when you're going into Cascades.
And to me, I love that way. I come along the road and I could see the sea here. So for Tobago, I think that would be a great attraction to anybody who has not been to Tobago's Carnival.
It is definitely.
In terms of the difference of culture, would you say that Tobago's Carnival has a different culture to Trinidad, or is it the same thing?
It is virtually the same thing. The only thing that the people are not typically mass players, they are more juvie. So they are not the pretty mass type of people. We are now getting them into it, where they are now a little more, and because of the fact that the space has been shifted from the national, and they have another one in October, that allows for people to now, there's no competition. We are kind of in a vacuum. In the October space, or the October time frame. So now people are a little more, you know, wanting to partake in the actual carnival and not just juvie.
So for you personally, do you prefer Tobago's Carnival to be in February or in October?
I definitely prefer it in October. Yeah, because you see what happened, because we were in both spaces, because we did 2 years of national, and we realized no matter what we did, no matter how great the costume looked, it was really very hard to get people to buy into it, because of course we are going against the Mecca. So then therefore, I mean, people are like, oh no, I'm going to Trinidad. And then also Tobagonians have this sort of idea that I don't want people to see me on the road in a two-piece something and then I'm going to work the next day with my head up like this. And people are, but I saw you on the road and you were shaking your bum.
Right,
you know?
right,
So there's a little bit of pride. They're a little bit prideful still, you know.
Right.
So they're kind of like, okay, all right. But now that the space is opening up, or the space has opened for that October carnival, you're seeing a little more. Every year they're coming out, you know, bit by bit, to partake in the conventional.
So you know, as a carnival costume designer yourself, knowing that, all right, the Tobago space is a bit different from the Trinidad space, does that dictate how you do your carnival designs in terms of your costume?
Most definitely. Price point is a huge thing because of the fact that they are not used to playing mass. You know, a juve is what, 500, 450, some people have their packages at. So 450, 500, maximum maybe 8. And so as a result, we have to be very careful with our pricing because it would not be sold. I'm serious about it. People would not, or they would look for a discount. That is how the
So what's the average cost now? For those of you who know Trinidad and Tobago's carnival, Trinidad has been deemed expensive now. So the average price of a costume from some of the other designers that we spoke to could range from like around $6,000 for a female. What is it like on average for a carnival costume in Tobago's carnival?
I would say around 3,800. It's a one-day parade, and but even if you do the translation or the conversion, I should say, it still would not come up to half of what a one-day in Trinidad would be.
Right.
So it's like approximately 3,500 you could get for $2,800. It depends on the if it's a front line or if it's a back line, you know. But the cap is like around $3,800.
So you as a designer, where do you get your inspiration from?
Well, most times I get it when, like, to be honest, guys.
You can be real, you can be,
I am
you can
being
tell
real.
me it is
I am being real here.
You rock back home and you drink your rum and you get inspiration, or you smoke a weed and you get inspiration. Or you and your husband fall out and you say, you get me so mad I seen a red costume, this is my inspiration. How do you get it?
Let me tell you, most times it would be that I'll be in my bed, I'll have to be sleeping and I'll get up, I'll wake up in the middle of the night. Wait, boy, you know this song real good, this looking real good. I think I'm going to do that this year. And then I start to build on it. And then, yeah, that is how it comes about. Just by sleeping, and it just happens, guys.
I know, because a lot of creatives is something that you can't really explain. Some people had to put themselves in the mood to do it, and some people it just come naturally to them. In terms of trends that you have seen in Carnival, be it Tobago's Carnival or Trinidad's Carnival, what is one trend that you think they need to stop it right now, that you do like? It could be fashion, it could be elements of Carnival.
I mean, I know we can't get away from it too much, but you see that commercialization, we have reached a stage or a place where it has become too commercialized, the Carnival. And I'm not saying that you're not in it for money, but we forget who we are targeting. It's the masqueraders, and importantly, it's also the spectators. That is a very vital part. So we have reached a stage where we no longer think about, okay, people coming on the road to see this greatness that we have created, and then, you know, people are now in a space, in a place where they don't know where the bands are. We're only thinking about, you know, what we could make in our pockets. I mean, yeah, that's what we're in business for. But at the end of the day, we have to look at it from a holistic perspective, so that the creativity, the culture can reach, I mean, yes, it's building, but it could reach further and further and further, and people would know that Trinidad it is, and not think about another place to go to.
And give me one thing that you love about Carnival.
You first. That ability to get into character, you know, it's almost like you're a different person. Well, I feel like a different person. I feel like the baddest. Yeah, I feel like my alter ego is out. I'm Samantha, no longer Sabrina, and I put on my costume, the hair, the wedges.
Right.
And yes, I'm on the road with wedges, guys. No boots, no sneakers. I'm sorry. I have a
Wedges.
better time. I jump with wedges on. I don't care. Comfortable. I don't want my toes to be squashed and my toenails drop off. A few months later, I am in my wedges. Yes. Yeah.
All right. And I want to find out, because you are someone who has used the Playmas app in terms of band management. I've spoken to a couple of people who've used it when it comes to their Juve bands, but in terms of the mass band management, how has Playmas worked for you?
Well, it has been fantastic, because let me tell you, doing any band with the amount of moving parts, Playmas is a lifesaver. I am not lying. And on top of which, I am not very techno, although I'm like 25.
Right, I can see.
I am not very techno. So as a result, Playmas would have defined everything for me, from getting my reports done, figuring out who's doing what size, what type of underwear, what type of bra. It is on point where I could just click, well, my daughter that is, because again, not too techno. So my daughter would click and a report comes up. Oh yes, you have 25 pounds in this section, or you have 25 of this, or whatever. So Playmas has really compact that in one place that is easy, so you don't have to be running around trying to count numbers individually for a band of 200 and something or 300 and something people. So that would have taken off a lot, because again, as I said, it's a lot of moving parts with a mass band, a lot, guys.
All right, if you have a big mass band with thousands of people, then you would need to have this sort of technology. But you have a smaller band in terms of numbers compared to a Trinidad mass band that have thousands of people when you're talking in a matter of hundreds. Do you think that is still something that would help you out on a smaller scale as well?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Small or medium or large, it helps because it takes away the load, or actually having someone to now come and tally this, or just do any sort of managerial aspect of the production, or of your production, or your costumes sales. So it doesn't matter, small, medium or large, Playmas is it.
And no, she was not paid to say that.
No.
Right? just double check it.
I just know
Rory, we just making sure you didn't slip a little something.
Yeah.
But what advice would you have? Because I mean, having a mass band is no easy feat. What advice would you have for anyone who's trying to enter into that mass band space?
So one of the things is to stay your course. Do not, or try not to dwindle, or try not to be too, shaky when coming to what you want and what you want your brand or your band to be. Far too many times we have where people kind of get discouraged because it's a lot. Guys, it is a lot, but once you have that perseverance and you really believe in what you're doing, you just stay the course and everything will just fall into place. And make sure and have money as well, because it's expensive, and this is not a joke. It is expensive to do. So it's either you're good with sponsors or you have the money to ensure
in terms of starting it up, it's
it's an expensive startup. Yeah, it is definitely.
Would you say it is, for you, what is more fulfilling? Is it the creative aspect in terms of designing the costumes, or managing the band itself, seeing that you're one of the band leaders?
To be honest, the design of the costume, because it is a lot in terms, and I don't want to discourage anyone, but you just have to take into consideration the things that need to be, you have to do. So it's from, if you want private sections in your band, if your creative director, your designers, your photography, videography, promotion, marketing, all of these things, it's an integral part. And then, ensuring that all these things mesh together, is in unison to now see the benefits as you go down the road. So I would say I will chicken out, although I do most of it. I have my team, but I would say the design, it could sometimes be frustrating, but the design anyway, any day, anytime.
Design over the management.
Yeah, because
Good.
you're gonna see, you're getting to see this beautiful thing that you created.
When it comes to Tobago's Carnival now, the production of this, do you all have a production house in Tobago? Is it done in Trinidad? How is it done logistically? Is it more difficult? Tell us a bit about production on the side of Tobago Carnival.
Production, because again, Trinidad being the Mecca, some of the designers, not a lot, but some of the designers are from Trinidad. So as a result, most of the production is being done, or at least for my band, is being done in in Trinidad, and it's just easier. We have more people, we have more production people in Trinidad opposed to Tobago. So then, therefore, we decide we'll just do all of our stuff in terms of production in the Trinidad space. We box it up, get a van, come down on the Cabo Star, and pack up the van and take it to Tobago in one day. We are done with that. We prepare everything here, take it to Tobago, distribution house, done.
Right, okay, so you
Yeah.
feel as though it's easier
Yeah, it's
to do
easier,
it.
yeah.
All right,
For
cool.
sure.
So we are ready for our quick fire round. You're not allowed to think too much. You have to see what is at the top of your mind when the question hits. Ready? Savannah stage or Sukadroom?
Savannah stage, for sure.
Backpack or no backpack?
A backpack, all day.
But she was the one who said she had to go there and take pictures with the people spectating, so
Of
she knows she
course.
had to be in her big backpack. All right, wire bra or no wire bra?
Wire.
Wire bra. Thong or normal panty?
Hey, thong. Where's no? Okay, yeah.
Papa laps. All right. Marshall or Kess?
I can't think too much. Marshall.
Destra or Alison?
Destra.
Voice or lyrical?
No, that's a hard one now. Nah, I taking both. Both. But Lero, Lero.
And outside of Trinidad and Tobago's carnival, which you would say is another carnival that could give us a run for our money?
I would say, wow. Ooh, Lucia,
Lucia?
St. Lucia. St. Lucia is, I know everybody says Jamaica, but something about Lucia, I have 2 days as well. Jamaica is 1 day. Lucia is our vibe. Lucia is, I've never been to Grenada, so I can't say from that, but Lucia, yeah,
Okay,
any day,
St. Lucia.
I'll go back.
So, big up St. Lucia. Thank you very much, Sabrina. You were great. She was wonderful.
Thank
So,
you.
you know Tobago's carnival. We played with too?
Zain Carnival, the ultimate premium Tobago mass
Oh,
experience.
Papa. We hear what she said? Fun straight. This
We are
is
bougie this year.
Carnival Visionaries. Thank you very much. The Play Mass. It's Rome. It's Sabrina. We out there.